So, hello and welcome everyone to the Empowering Women Call. I am so excited to be back on here after the long stretch after the holiday, and I'm super excited to have the speakers that we have today. My name is Michelle Fletcher, and the mission of these calls really is to share how this business opportunity that we were presented with, all of us at different times in our lives, has truly changed us physically, mentally, and financially. And I'll just share my story is that over 6.5 years ago, I was in a pretty tough place financially. I had lost my job a year prior to learning of this opportunity, and we were in financial distress. We went from a 6-income household to that being cut in half, and we had a huge mortgage. And it all happened at the same time as the financial crash. We had purchased a house right before the crash happened. And then on top of that, throughout the years, I lost my job. And then we had 2 kids versus no kids. And so we were in a really bad place financially. And I was looking for a way. I was at home with my kids, 2 little ones, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I was looking for a way to make some additional income, but at the same time, be home for them, because it was just a chaotic time in my kids' life to leave the house. And so I feel like my prayers were answered, and someone shared with me the business opportunity, which is Juice Plus, and the products made sense, but also the business made sense to me. It was something that I really got very passionate about because I had always been into fitness. I'd always been into health, but I never knew the link between nutrition and health and disease, and how we can actually change what has genetically been going on in our family. So little of that, so little of that really makes an impact if we're practicing prevention and doing things such as, eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, which are full of nutrients that help us to protect our bodies and to prevent disease and so many other things. And so at the time when I learned of this information, I had a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. My 1-year-old was a super picky eater, would not eat vegetables, no matter what I did. And I started taking Juice Plus. I'm going to mute some people that aren't on mute yet, so we don't have any background noise. And feel free to mute your phones when you jump on. But it truly transformed my our health within months. My son, who was super picky, always sick, within 2 months, he was eating broccoli and cabbage. I couldn't get him to do that prior to being on Juice Plus, no matter what I did. As for me, I've always been into health and fitness and exercise, and I noticed my stamina, my endurance, and my recovery times were all just improved significantly. And that was strange, because I was like, I've been working out most of my life, and why all of a sudden would that happen in the first 3 months of starting on this nutritional program? And then as for my husband, his postnasal drip disappeared. So it's just amazing the things that can happen when you start to flood your body with nutrition from fruits and vegetables. And as for my dad, who's a diabetic, I was so thankful to learn of this, because he was the second person I thought of, because it's like he wasn't able to get those fruits in his diet like he used to. And so this was a way for him to get that concentrated nutrition. And so for me, I feel like this opportunity has truly been a blessing. At the time when I heard of it, our house was in foreclosure. We lost our house, but I was able to build this business to now. It's been 6.5 years later, and now we're in a new house, amazingly, where we have paid off so much debt. We're just in such a better place financially, which, let me tell you, when you're in a better place financially, it relieves you of that mental stress. There's a lot of mental stress that comes with not knowing, what's going to happen next. And, I was the mom that went to Chick-fil-A for my kids to play, but I was like, I'm only buying fries, because we were on such a strict diet. It was so restrictive. And I've always grown up just being very independent and financially secure, and losing that was really eye-opening. But I've been thankful to this business for me to be able to reclaim that, and at the same time still be at home with my kids. So I did not share that I actually come from a corporate background, worked in corporate for over 10 years in IT. So it was a hard transition, but I definitely am so thankful that I'm now in a community that helps to uplift, that is just so positive, and they pour into you, and it's like ironing sharpening iron. And that is some of the women that we have on this call tonight are women that are just amazing, and we all help lift each other up. And so the first person that I would love to share how this business opportunity has changed her physically, financially, and mentally is Nicole Fiol. She is my business buddy, and we have locked arms for the past, it's been 4 or 5 years, and she has an amazing story to share. So Nicole, I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. And I am so honored to be on this side of the screen because I am usually on the other side as a guest. And I love all the past calls that you have posted for us. I'm so empowered, and I hope my goal is to help someone with my story. Hopefully, I get to communicate exactly what I want to say, what my journey has been. So I am forever thankful to Michelle for sharing this opportunity with me. At the beginning, 5 years ago, I used to be the one who knew what not to eat, what working twice a day, exercising, because my goal was to have, my six pack and, starve and live off of coffee just to substitute calories or food, and not realizing that I was always constipated and tired, and my nails and hair were just, very weak and falling off in the shower tub. But hey, I knew, I was healthy. I was not on any antibiotics. I was not on any medicine. So I was healthy. Don't tell me, don't say anything, because I was good. My son was always also constipated, always on over-the-counter medication. And to me, that was normal because that was our normal. And it was not until I get to see this information that I felt so guilty as a mom that I was like, oh my goodness, I am not teaching them to eat, the same 5 fruits and vegetables that I will used to eat every single day. So that was my eye opener. That was my aha moment. And immediately, at that time, I have to share that I was unemployed. I was a single mom of two, unemployed, and I overdid my finances again because I needed it. And I'm so thankful to this company that has such a heart for families, where if an adult consumes, we get to sponsor a child. So I was able. So shortly after I started on the product, oh my God, what a difference I started feeling to myself. I started going to the bathroom every single day, which was a blessing. I never had that luxury, and it is a luxury. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, it is a blessing. So he also started going to the bathroom a lot smoother, and ever since, he's not in over-the-counter medications anymore. We barely get sick. And that's a blessing, especially nowadays. Right now, in the season that we're in, I have so many people, so many close friends that are getting sick. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I wish you only say yes to look at the information. So God was just, it was just a blessing from God, because he actually sent Michelle to me. I was in a very ugly moment in my life where I was very disappointed, where I have been praying, where I have done everything by the book to do things right, to progress, to get better in life, and everything was just like going down the hill. I finished college. I was doing everything at work, and I was not succeeding. So he just listened to all my prayers, and because I had such a great experience, myself and my kids, shortly after we started in the product, I naturally started sharing. And Michelle was like, oh my God, well, maybe, this is something that you may want to take a look. And so it was a no-brainer. I immediately say yes. And it has been the best yes I've ever said, because I truly felt at that time, and I still feel until this day, that God gave me this gift because he was answering my prayers, where I wanted it to trust people, where I wanted it to be in an environment where I can trust and people will lift me up. Because back then, I was in a place where it was like going to war every day, where I had to survive every day. I had to put a shield, to not let people to bother me or to get stronger, just to survive, bottom line, because it was like, I'm gonna push you down so I can go up type of thing. So it was very ugly, and I knew that God did not plan that for me and for any of us. It shouldn't be that way. So knowing that it was a gift from God, I put myself all the way in. I am learning. I'm still learning 5 years later, from the business. It's a lot of personal growth that I have gone through. And the more I learn about myself and everything that He has given me, because I don't know if you have, Wendy Campbell says that either you do a little bit or you do a lot, you're still a blessing. So it has been an amazing journey. A very few things made stood out for me. Number one, that they include God in the business. That was a huge aha for me, because I have never been in a business where they actually include God. And without His blessing, I don't go anywhere. So it was amazing to know that. Number two, the simplicity of the business and the product, where anyone can do this. Ever since I realized that I just have to remove myself, and it's not about what I know, what I have experienced, it's just being the voice, it's just plugging people into the community and into all the videos that are available to us, and all these doctors and people with a lot of expertise, in the business. I just have to put them in front of them, and they do the magic. Once I realized that, a lot of fears went away, because I know they're not, they just don't know what they don't know, like me. Before hey, don't talk to me about nutrition, because I know what I'm doing, because I was looking the way I wanted it to look, until I saw the information. I was like, oh my goodness, it's not about taking away, it's about adding, and adding the right stuff. So it is amazing. So the simplicity, where I don't have to have any titles, where I don't have to be someone that I am not. Understanding that God made me with a purpose, and now I understand that purpose, that is helping people and just plugging them in, and helping them just to see this information. It just makes my life so happier and simpler and easier, that I just want to let everybody know that anyone can do this. All you have is, the big heart of keep sharing, and just be there for people. And then the other one is the teamwork. I've never been into a community that they actually lock arms with you, and they genuinely get happy when you succeed. That was like, oh my God, this is my dream come true. This is like a real family, because I didn't experience that in any other business that I've been into. Well, meaning office work, 8 to 5 jobs that I've had. So those three things, that is a gift from God, that God is into this business. I loved that we get to do what He meant for us to be doing, eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. I love that. The fact that the product, we can take it. When I learned that even expectant moms can do it, I was like, wow, then this is the real deal. Like, if babies can take it, then absolutely we should be taking it. That was like a no-brainer. And I am so blessed that I have a Juice Plus baby, that I took it as a prenatal, that I was able to experience the before and after. And I was able to see my healing process. It was so much faster. I mean, now I have passion even more for moms, and to share this, because as a mom, I struggle with my older kids, and I can see the difference with the little ones. So I cannot keep it to myself. Then the simplicity and the teamwork, that we just lock arms, and the obstacles that I put in myself, that, oh no, I can't do this, oh no, this is not for me, oh no, so many things. I don't have that degree, I don't have that background. The more I learn about God's purpose in me, is like the more bold I get. So it's all about me and in my mind. So I totally encourage you, if this is your first time or exposure into this, you are in the right place. If you're here, it's because you have a heart that you can do better, and that God wants you to do better. So I congratulate you for being here. And it's the best community that I've ever been, and I totally love to be here and to be part of this, and be able to inspire others and help others. And I know this is just the beginning, because there's so much more that we can do. And every day he tells me that. So thank you, Michelle, so much. I don't know if I answered everything, but if you have any questions, please let me know. I don't know. Thank you.
No, that was great. And I'll just share that Nicole started this business. Our first two kids are around the same age. Well, maybe like a year off. So my son is 8 and my daughter's 10. I believe her daughter's 11 and her son maybe 9. And then she had another little one who was 1 turning 2 in January. So it's just been amazing to see, her be able to be home now with the 3 kids. She was just finishing a job when I met her and was looking for work. And now this opportunity has allowed you to be home like with all of them. And that's awesome. So thank you so much for sharing, Nicole. So I love to share some statistics on this call, and especially in regards to us as women. So the ones I like to share, I have some new ones for those of you who have been on previous of these Empowering Women Zooms. But what really stood out to me was when I heard that 80% of women will experience widowhood by the age of 57. And so, when you think of that, you think, wow, we all need, whether you're working in a full-time job or a part-time job, it's always good to have like a plan B alongside that, because you never know what's going to happen. And then we have where 80% of Americans have more debt than assets. And there's so many things that go alongside with this. I was at an event and there was a financial analyst sharing some statistics, and he was saying, with the women, there's so much uncertainty with the economy. There's the rising cost of college, which it blows my mind because I think college costs have tripled since I've been in college, and I don't feel like I've been out of college that long, less than 20 years. And then, we have to deal with things like aging parents. And then we also have, let's see here, that 57% of Americans do not have enough cash to cover a $500 unexpected expense. You have to think of these things. And then something I recently saw is that the number of consumers age 60 and older with student loan debt has quadrupled over the last decade, according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And the average woman spends 15% of her working years outside of the workforce caring for children and elderly parents, compared to the average man's 1.6% of having to do the same thing. So, I feel that there's a heavier weight that goes with being a woman, and we embrace it, and we are, amazing at multitasking and handling all of life situations. But it's nice to have a crutch, especially to have prepared for such situations, which were mentioned in there. So this is what this can be for so many people. And I know it has been that for me. And so if you're on here and you don't even know what Juice Plus is, I'll just share really quick that Juice Plus is 30 vine-ripened fruits, vegetables, and berries that have been juiced. The water, the sugar, and the salt has been taken out, and they have been put into capsules in these beautiful bottles. These are the capsules. And they also have been put into chewables, which is what my kids have been taking for the past 6.5 years. And they do not have cavities. They just dissolve in your mouth. And once you eat, all the gummy comes out. And then we also have a plant-based protein shake, which comes in vanilla and chocolate. And then we also have something called the Tower Garden, where you can grow your own fruits and vegetables. And we have a newest product, which is a plant-based omega, which is awesome. And if you know, omegas are really good for brain health. And so that's another area in which our company goes about helping us with mental health. And I'll share with you that mental health issues run in my family. And so that is a very high concern for me, because as a lot of people on my mom's side of the family have aged, they have suffered from dementia and Alzheimer's. And so that is something that is at the top of my radar. And I know more than ever now, we notice that there's more and more mental health issues that are happening out there, and crimes that are committed are from people that are suffering from mental illness. So it's something that we definitely have to be aware of. And so with all that being said, our company really inspires healthy living by people being able to get the nutrition that their bodies so desperately need to function the way it should. And so we're here as servants of this information to share it and to help people get on a better track. And so I am super excited to introduce Rihanna, who is a mommy of three. And I forgot to intro Nicole and her background, but Rihanna's a mommy of three. And I'm actually going to let her go into her story because I feel like I don't want to take away any part of her story because I know it's going to be pretty amazing. So, Rihanna, you have the floor. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Well, thank you, Michelle, for having me on. And I love this topic. I love talking about empowering each other and finding ways to empower one another, because when we are empowered, we can turn around and empower someone else, right? And I'm a firm believer that when we're all better, we're better financially, we're better healthier, we're better physically, mentally, when we're better emotionally, we are all better. Like when we're all better, we are all better. And that's kind of my motto that I've been living by these last couple of years, just really loving this mission so much, inspiring healthy living around the world. But my story starts about 6 years ago. I found myself in a bit of a health crisis myself, and I knew something had to change. And with being a parent and the main caregiver of a child of pretty severe special needs, she's non-mobile, she is non-verbal. Everything has to be done for her. She needs 24-hour care around the clock. And I have two other children, and at the time they were 6 and 4 when I was kind of having this crisis of just being mentally weak, being physically weak. I mean, you can imagine by the time 2:30 rolls around, I'm done. Like I have nothing left, and I would have hit a wall, and I needed a nap on a daily basis. And I just had mommy brain. You know, I don't know if you know what that means, but like there's nothing left to your life other than just having to serve the needs of everybody else. And while I feel blessed to be a mommy, I just kind of felt like there was nothing else, you know, that I felt like to be excited about. And so I had some occasional depression that I was dealing with as well. And one day I woke up and I just felt so physically worn, mentally worn. And I had the most horrifying thought that crossed my mind. And that thought was, what happens to my daughter if my body breaks down? Who's going to take care of her while my husband is off working 50 to 60 hours a week? Who am I going to pay to take care of her over the summer when she's home all day and not in school? Wait, I don't have any extra money to pay anybody to take care of her. And I don't want anybody else to have to take care of her. So at that moment, I decided I needed to make some changes. And I was looking for some healthy lifestyle changes. And I'm telling you, just shortly after that, the opportunity to check out Juice Plus came by. And it made so much sense to me because I knew that as a mother, I could not provide that kind of nutrition for my family. So it made complete sense to me, and I was looking for something like that. So we got on board with this one simple change. And I went from being an Oreo hoarder and stashing them in my nightstand to make sure I had some left over to craving broccoli and craving Brussels sprouts. And so it's an amazing switch, trust me. And my kids are feeling amazing. There's so much quality of life that my daughter has that she did not have before that we don't have time to go into. But my husband was able to fight the shingles virus off that he'd been struggling with for the last 3 years in a row. So obviously a lot of amazing benefits. But I became interested in the company behind this amazing product when I found out they were teaching people how to grow food in their house. I'm like, who does that? That was very intriguing to me. So I wanted to know more about the company and learned about their mission to inspire healthy living around the world. And like I said, I am all about helping people kind of overcome these things that, like us, a lot of the same things that my family had been dealing with. So I really loved the idea of joining the mission, and I did, and I was amazed to find just within the first couple of months, I was able to earn a couple, enough money to put a pretty big dent in the grocery bills. Let's just say that. And as a mother of a special needs child who does not have the option of working a corporate America job, I cannot go in and clock in 9 to 5 because we have too many doctor's appointments, too many therapy appointments, too many hospital trips, way too many things going on extra, to be able to hold a job down. And so I can't tell you the amount of satisfaction, the amount of pride, what it did for my emotional and mental strength to know that I was able to provide that kind of income for my family. And we went from, that little amount to being able to pay for my mortgage. And now we know we have a game plan to, becoming that family that just gets to do everything together. So my husband doesn't have to necessarily work all those long hours every week. And he can help with the care of our daughter. He can help with the homeschooling of our 2 boys. These are the things that we are on the verge of because of this mission. And I am on the mission now to help inspire people to not only take their health back, but to take their financial health back, to take back their mental health, their emotional health, all of these things that are wrapped up into giving of ourselves and letting people know about this amazing education or nutrition, but at the same time letting them know about the opportunity that comes along with it. And so I'm incredibly blessed to get to share this my story with people, and also to have a team of people who are developing their own stories and sharing. And it's like all these webs that are going out, and it's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey. So thank you, Michelle, for letting me share, and thank you all for listening.
Thank you, Rihanna. You are pretty amazing because you're sitting there so calm and collected, and I can imagine what your days are like, but you're always just so happy, and oh my goodness. Thank you so much for being on here and sharing your stories, both you and Nicole, because, without hearing from other people and hearing what they're going through, you can't touch other people unless you're sharing your story. So thank you so much for that. And I know there's going to be people that are going to resonate with what you shared tonight. So I just want to say, for anyone who is on here as a guest, take a look at what it is that we do. Take a serious look. And, there's a lot of things out there, but there's nothing like this business that we're in. The community, the products, the people is second to none. And I honestly would not be doing something like this. I never imagined I would do anything like this. But I have been in it for 6.5 years, and I know I will be in it for the rest of my life, because this is just something I'm very passionate about. And seeing the lives that are changed from the information with the products, and then even sharing of the business opportunity, how you can change, give people a sense of community, how you can help to turn around their financial situations. It's like no other. So thank you so much for being on here tonight and for joining us. And thank you to our speakers for taking the time out of your busy schedules to share your stories with us tonight. See you next week. We have these calls every Thursday night, these Zoom calls every Thursday night at 9. And we hope to see you on and bring another friend. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.